Hey, welcome back to Monster Gaming. So, I actually wanted to go back and talk more about Dominations. This is a game that I keep going back to over and over again, basically because it's a really good game. When I'm not in the mood to play it, it just feels like such a long game and everything takes forever to upgrade, and it does, but it is a very good game. I've been playing off and on probably close to 5 years, but maybe around 3 years. Uh, I don't know. I take pretty long breaks from it. So I am kind of far along in the Cold War, but at the same time, I could definitely be further along, but that's fine. The last video that I posted was for Puzzle Combat. Much like Empires and Puzzles, I found it to be a reskin and a couple other things I thought were interesting, but it kind of gave me the same feeling after a week or so of playing, and yeah, I'm not ready to go back to that. That was not a fun experience in the long run, to be sure. Got a couple other friends into this game, trying to get them going so we can start building up an alliance again, and then kind of go from there. But I've decided that since I'm going to be playing a little bit more, I'm playing daily now. I might look at changing from the Japanese. I think the Japanese are pretty decent if you like to use infantry, and if you're not going to be playing super often because of the peace treaties. But I am thinking of doing a revolution. Um, Nothing wrong with the Japanese for sure. I really liked using the samurai, um, but I kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. Chinese are okay with the. I'm not so much of an archer kind of guy. I do like the extra citizen a little bit. The mercenary camp capacity is great. I use the mercenary camp all the time. I always have people there. Bonus defenders, not bad. British, another archery one, gives you a lot more loot, gives you 15% more during attacks. That's one that would be pretty good if you're going to be attacking a ton. Right now, I've just been looting. I haven't been looking to get medals or things like that or stars. Um, so, other than a little bit of firepower and a little bit more loot, nothing super exciting. I've played the French, I'd say probably the longest, probably about 65 to 70% of my time playing the game. I've played as a French, and I quite enjoyed them. The Chevalier, which later turns into a nice tank, was really fun. Reduces time to train an army. That's usually pretty good too. If you put a little boost on top of that, you can train stuff super fast. Mind you, this was before the VIP retrain and things like that, so um, the game has evolved and things are a little bit easier, a little bit quicker, or at least more options than back in the day. Increases maximum allied army size. That's a really good one if you're, have a pretty active alliance and they're donating stuff to you, because that really adds up a lot. Germans are one that I'm highly considering, but this one is good if you're going to be attacking a lot and you're going to be looking for medals a lot. Duration of rally is doubled, reduces cooldown of rally, which is really good. The Vandal is nice and strong, just like the Samurai. The Teutonic Fury, bonus troop damage after a multiplayer victory. That's those two things right there make them really, really good for offense. But you got to be fighting a lot, and you got to be winning a lot to be able to get that extra 15%. If you're fighting just to loot and you're not winning any battles, that you're kind of you're not benefiting from that extra 15%. So this would be an interesting one if I decide to start doing um, massive wars and things like that, and really trying to maximize on my loot and my wars. Greeks I played for a little bit too. They're kind of similar to the French with a slight difference. So refunds part of upgrade cost 5%. Doesn't seem like much, but some of the stuff that you get to now is extremely expensive. So getting any kind of refund every time you upgrade is definitely beneficial. Could be 50,000 could be 100,000 per upgrade. So that can add up super fast. Instantly finish upgrades and general recovery under 15 minutes for free, plus 5 minutes per age. I think I'm about 6 ages in, so I'm somewhere around an hour or so. So that's not super amazing, but if you are playing every day, you will know when like an hour is going to be up, and it's nice to be able to go and click on your character and then go, oh, they're good to go. And then the companions are really good take. The Koreans I played for a little bit too, about 20% of my time, because they refund loot after being attacked. So it's another one where if you're not playing very often and you're constantly getting attacked, because the less you actually play live on the game, the more often you're going to be getting attacked. Um, you wait for the peace treaties and then you get attacked again. So you don't play for a week, you probably got attacked 5 times or so. And then you're getting refunds 10%. 10% is not bad. You know, you're getting refunded more than you are gaining with the British, which is I think 5%. If all things are equal, this will be better. With the British, you need to attack a ton to really maximize on that extra loot. This is the opposite. This one is when you get attacked, which can be pretty often, you're gonna make that back, which is really nice. The Haring does a lot more damage, so they're very, very useful. Increases maximum war tactics capacity, which is also really useful, even though those are expensive and they take a while to gain. Koreans are definitely a force. The last one is the Romans. Large army. Your legion has 25% more health. They're your infantry, so they survive a little longer for sure. But then you get an extra 10% of whatever your capacity is. So even though it only has one little skill there, that's a very, very powerful one. The really tricky thing with this game is the beginning of the game. Um, let's see. The Japanese are really, really good at the beginning of the game because the town center shoots at invaders. At the beginning of the game, it does a decent amount of damage. Later in the game, it really doesn't. Doesn't really help you too much. um, the Romans are basically helpful all the way around, but they don't excel in anything specific. They don't really help your economy or anything like that. Let's see what else. The French are actually very good at the beginning of the game because the Chevalier is so strong. Your horsemen, are so strong at the beginning of the game. Um, so they're really good, and the Greeks are really good too, um, as well. So the tricky thing is once you get to the modern eras and you start having oil production, your barracks slowly are not as important or as valuable as they were before. I mean, you still have all these units, but the factory becomes way more important. These units cost oil, um, but they're way more powerful. So they cost more, um, but they're just way more powerful across the board. And I would say the second half of the game, the factory becomes your main source of what do you call it, infantry or whatever you want to call it, like what you're going to be using the most. Um, plus the um, plus the airstrip, you're going to be using a lot of them as well. So it's really hard trying to decide who to use because if you're not really going to be using infantry, you're not going to be using archers. You're not. I mean, you'll use tanks for sure, a little bit here and there, but the tanks in the factory are much stronger. It makes it really difficult. It's like, which one of these do you use when you're not really going to be using the barracks units as much anymore? So I think the second ability that you get becomes that much more important. So like the peace treaties here doesn't really do much. I still use infantry a lot just because I can make them cheap and I can swarm. I like to swarm sometimes. It's not going to win you a whole war, but at least you'll get a bunch of loot. Sorry, I just had to blow my nose real quick. All right, let's see. Chinese. Like the archers really, really don't do that much anymore. I mean, the British would be nice with a few archers just to help protect, your cart, your infantry, maybe even your tanks. But if you chose the British, it'd be because of the loot stolen increase, not because of the unit. The French, if you like using those tanks, uh, the French and the Greeks, you can actually level up their tanks to be very, very close to the heavy tanks. Um, except for these ones go for the defensive buildings versus the regular heavy tanks attack anybody and can hit multiple at the same time. Allied army size is good. Reduces time to train. That's not super important. Duration of rally is doubled. Reduces the cooldown. That's cool. Gives you like a quick ability to maneuver quicker. Teutonic Fury is only good if you win your victory. If what I understand is correct, it does also your factory units and your planes. It gives them all a bonus damage. So that one's if you're really aggressive. Refunds part of cost, instantly finish upgrades, general recovery. An hour off of an upgrade. I don't know. The Koreans would be good if I was getting attacked a lot. I'd be able to recover some of that. War tactics are nice, but I don't really use them that much. And the Romans increased army size, and I can just steamroll the other people. So let me just go back and see how many units I can have. And mind you, my other barracks can still be upgraded, but so 150. So 10% of that would be another 15. So I'd be at 165. It's tough. The other thing is I need to expand because there's other stuff that I can get, but I can't put it anywhere. So there's always different things you can build. There's a sale right now. A lot of stuff's pretty cheap, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I do like the Japanese, but I think I need something better. Oh, here's the one other thing that I didn't think about is on defense. So whatever your unique unit is, they're gonna come out of the command post. Where is it? Oh, see, I haven't leveled mine up to make them stronger. But your unique unit will come out of there. And let me check something here. And defender on this one is a Fusilier. Okay. So that's the other thing is if you switch, wouldn't it be nice to have tanks defending you? Even if you're not planning on building any tanks for yourself to go out an army with, on defense, that might make a difference if you have tanks coming out. All right, so let's look at the Greeks are 10% more health and 25% more damage. And I think the French are the opposite, or kind of the opposite. 20% more health and 50% more damage. Oof, this is a really tough one. I don't know if I can make that decision right now. My whole point was to do a switch right here, but I'm going to think about it. I'm probably going to post another video in the next hour as a follow-up to this. And then see what happens. But man, I gotta think about this because it is 1,000 crowns to do that, and I specifically kept all my workers just chilling because you need all 16 to do a revolution. So I'm just gonna end it right here, and then we will be back in a little while. All right, thanks.